Hari Om, the mantra number 2, and it's quite a little bit long one, so I will see how it goes. Maybe I will do it in 2 parts. The 6 limbs of yoga. And again, there's a Sanskrit text and the transliteration. Asanam pranasambratam pratyahararascha dharana dhyanam samadhiretani yogangani bhavanti shat. So if I didn't read it correctly, many aspects affected that. So translation is asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhara, dhyana, and samadhi are the 6 limbs of yoga. Pretty simple. So we looked at some of them as we have time. We'll continue. So the commentary are, for the aspirant who is established in the path of yoga, abhyasa we call it, the continual practice. So if it's not just like you're going for once a week for the gym, but it's something you do every day or every other day, and more on a spiritual level, so some kind of type of pranayamas, meditations also. So that's it's necessary. Aspirants who establish in the path of yoga is necessary. Abhyasa. Abhyasa provides the means to constantly evolve in the spiritual path. The main difference between the 2 paths of Raja Yoga and Kundalini Yoga is that Raja Yoga starts with the disciplinary code of Yama Niyama, whereas Kundalini Yoga starts straight away with the practice. Kundalini Yoga is an integral part of the tantric system in which it's considered that through practice the level of consciousness will be raised, and then the discipline will come a natural part of life, rather than forced patterns of behavior causing suppression and guilt. So they're trying to explain you this kind of what we talked about in the beginning. So the Raja, it's very structured way of practice yoga, and Yama and Yama first to foundation, the cornerstone of it. Yama and Yama, it's the not violence and respect towards yourself and towards the others. So there's many aspects there. You can read about it, but it's 8 limb of yoga, first 2 stages, and then you go asana, pranayama, pratyahara, and dharana, and so on. So, but unfortunately, well, first of all, in the modern world, nobody does these 2 stages first. Maybe in some ashrams in India, but usually, especially if they teach somebody who come from overseas, they don't bother about those 2 aspects. And with Kundalini Yoga, you kind of start straight to the practice, and they explain to you, they believe that when you start practicing and naturally you start getting into the path of, you start becoming vegetarian, you start dropping practices of ahimsa, harm, you stop hunting if you did before, fishing, anything like that. Well, so basically you become changing while you practice. And it's both. Because I see people who come to practice and they come to yoga for physical, like they think it's like an exercise or fix the back problem or hips or something. They want to lose weight, for example. And then the practice changes them, change their family, change their attitude to the life, change the profession, and so on. So, therefore, the instructions on Kundalini Yoga, which are the main theme of the Upanishad, began with the Asana and Pranayama and not Yama and Niyama. The 6th limb of Kundalini Yoga mentioned in this mantra as follows. So the first one, asana, pranic, regulation through physical postures. That's what I keep telling you all my pranayama series, that the asanas, physical positions you take in yoga, particularly even right now, I'm sitting in half padmasana, or especially it's siddhasana. So my heels are one over the other, and they're touching my groin. And it's already the posture which redivert my energy levels in particular way. Yeah? So it's already the pranic regulation through my physical position. Upright back, shoulders straight in the position of my legs. So that's what you do when you go to the gym, whatever on the mat, you start practicing yoga, and you're always aware of your breath and direction of your energies. If you're not, you're probably not practicing yoga, you're practicing Pilates or something like that. So let's read about the first. Asanas are the basis of Kundalini Yoga because of the effect on the pranic system. They help to regulate and balance the energy throughout the body by removing energy blockages in the pranic channels and stimulating the chakras or energy centers located at different points along the spinal column. And not just spinal column, as I told you before. Accumulation of toxins, tensions, and stiffness in any part of the body cause blockages of energy and imbalance of the entire system. Asanas are designed to systematically remove these obstructions, and in this way they prepare the body for the awakening of the pranas, chakras, and kundalini as a result. There are two main categories of asanas, dynamic and static. In the context of the Upanishad, as well as other texts dealing with higher practices, asana refers to a posture which is meant for meditation. Sage Patanjali has described asana as a posture in which the body is able to remain steady and comfortable for duration of time. To attain success in sadhana, your practice, the body must be steady, comfortable, and tension-free. Sadhaka is required to maintain a state of physical harmony. Sadhaka is somebody who practices, so that the mind can be focused without any external distractions. And that's absolutely what I tell you from practice to practice, from video to video. The purpose of the asanas, cleansing the channels, you become more aware of your pranic channels and energy centers. At the same time, you're preparing your body to sustain long in a sitting position for your meditation. Because what the first thing people have a problem when they come to my yoga class, for example, they cannot sit for long. The last 15 or whatever, half an hour, if we have bigger class, or 15 minutes of meditation pranayama, for some people could be quite a torture. It's a torture. They can't even sit 2 minutes in any cross-legged upright peg position. And we put blocks, we put cushions, bolsters, and they still are not as comfortable. So for these people, we start practice yoga on physical level, asanas. So let's look for second part. It's the pranayama. Pranic expansion through manipulation of the breath. There is a subtle connection between breath, prana, and mind. For this reason, yogis initially instruct the aspirant to control the breath before attempting to direct the mental forces and awaken the pranic body. Pranayama is mastered in 3 stages. Awareness of the breath. First, you just become aware that you're breathing and you inhale and exhaling. Second, manipulation or control of the breath. So you make it a little bit longer, retention of the breath, and so. And third, expansion of prana. So you do it actually through the awareness and control of your breath. Because prana is the breath. In the preliminary stage of pranayama, awareness of the breath is engendered and the breathing is made regular and rhythmic. As the breathing is synchronized, the energy flow is harmonized and the mind becomes peaceful. After attaining this initial awareness, control of the 3 aspects of the breath, puraka, inhalation, rechaka, exhalation, and kumbhaka, retention, is developed through further techniques. In this way, the energy channels are purified and balanced in preparation for pranic awakening. Control of breathing leads to expansion of prana, which is the culmination of pranayama. Pranayama harmonizes the physical systems and keeps them in good health. It keeps the body light and free of toxins. Pranayama practice eventually leads the practitioner to master over the mind and senses by awakening and directing the force and flow of prana. So it's very true, actually. And for purification and awakening of prana throughout the system, there are 21 pranayama techniques, all of which are not described in any literature. These techniques should be learned from a proficient teacher or guru who can access and observe the requirements and attainments of the aspirant. Well, that's what they say in Upanishad. But these days you can get those practices. I get maybe some written, but majority of practices I received through my guru, through my teachers, and you can see them in texts. So that's the pranayama, this very good paragraph, and basically this commentary very self-sufficient, and that's, if you watch my videos, there's more in detail I go into that.